Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, it's funny to me, even after 6 years of doing this, more than 6 years now, I still have people who don't know that Prof. Hoff stands for Professor Hoffman. I really am a journalism professor. In fact, there are a couple of mods who may actually get to see me teach at some point in person. There are also ways to obviously verify that information is correct online. And so I tell my students all the time, I'm going to take you at your words and then your actions. Kabam Mike gave us a lot of words this weekend, and I want to just take him at his words. I want to see how right he is about his own words. Not to be overly emotional or overly dramatic or overreactive, but to just take him at what he said. Because we have those words, and then we can go from there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go back in this video to the original words that he used in his post. That's it. That's all we're going to do. And then from there, we will examine his follow-up words. He was responding to a post that said if they wanted to nerf Hercules, they would have already do it. I think technically it should have said they would have already done it. And so, in the spirit of this post, Kabam Mike responded, "We do want to nerf Hercules." Okay, keep in mind, he's missing a really important word in this first line. A really important word. The word not. He didn't respond by saying, "We do not want to nerf Hercules." He responded with his own words, "We do want to nerf Hercules." Okay, so let's assume that's a typo, right? Let's assume he meant to say not and just left out the most important word in the sentence. He then doubles down toward the end of this message. Because the second sentence, okay, we'll continue to design around him for now, figure out solutions. By the way, the words "for now," that implies a time designation of temporary. And then that time designation is followed up by a third sentence where he says, "Hercules is not getting nerfed yet." The word "yet" implies it is not an if, but a when, even if that when is in 2 years. He made 3 different mentions on his own, in his own words, of this post, that Hercules is going to be nerfed at some point, and they do want to nerf Hercules. This is not the community overreacting. This is the community taking Kabam Mike's words at face value and believing them. Not twisting them, not turning them around so he can be a victim, just taking him at his words. If I had a student that wrote something and then they complained that they meant to write something else, I'm going to say, I can't judge you and I can't grade you on what you would have written. I can only grade you on what you wrote. Kabam Mike, this post does not say that you do not want to nerf Hercules. It does not say that you're just going to nerf him by doing what you continue to do, which is fine, by the way. Create nodes or even champions that are immortality counters. Magic was a huge problem for the community for years because she was an incredible, almost unstoppable Alliance War boss for years. She was impossible to beat without 100% health, or at least to remain at 100% health. In fact, that was how Kabam used to catch scammers, bots, people who broke the terms of service. If you beat Magic and you had 100% health left with a champion that did not counter her well, that was a great way to know that you were cheating an Alliance War. Kabam could have nerfed Magic, but instead they made Blade. And once Blade was created, Magic stopped being a dominant Alliance War boss. Kabam has attempted to make champions that shut down his immortality or make him worse. They should continue to do that. But what they're now realizing is Hercules is just the perfect champion. He can't be countered 100%. And they've tried for years to have that happen, and they've lost, so in their eyes, so many revives and potions and units, and that all leads to cash in their pocket because of the champion that they designed. So, we're going to leave this message, and we're going to go to a very dangerous place, Twitter, or if you want to call it X, to see how Kabam Mike follows up this very not subjective but objective post that is just stating facts about Hercules' inevitable nerf. Let's go to tweet number 1, and we have 3 of them to talk about. The reaction to saying we are not nerfing Hercules is quite strong. Again, that word in caps, the word not, wasn't in the post we just looked at. If he had come out and said, we are not nerfing Hercules, no one would be saying anything. No one. But he forgot that word. It was not in the post I just read. I have looked over it over and over again thinking, am I overreacting? Am I missing something? Am I reading too much in this? No, I'm just reading his own words. To be clear, this is what I said. We are not doing it and have no plans to. That is not what you said. That is the opposite of the post I just read. And that is me just using your words. That's not me trying to be mean. That's not me trying to gaslight you. That's not me trying to criticize you. That's just me treating you as another one of my students and taking you at your words. That is not what you said. I get you are backpedaling now because you maybe in your head, through emotions, typed something you shouldn't have. Or maybe it was just a typo, but you tripled down by the end of it by using the word yet. Because if you say the reaction to Hercules, we are not nerfing Hercules, is quite strong. To be clear, that's what I said. We are not doing it and have no plans to. If you didn't have no plans to at any point, you wouldn't use the word yet. You'd say we are not nerfing Hercules and leave it at that. You are contradicting your own statement. And again, this is not me trying to get views on YouTube. This is just me treating you like anyone else and not letting you get away with this. So he says, is Hercules broken? Should he be balanced? Absolutely. Should we actually do it? Debatable. Okay, now you're changing the conversation. Why are you adding all these sentences to the end of this post? Just leave it at, we are not doing it and have no plans to. Had he just done that, would have been great. This is PR 101. But no, you had to add the, is he broken and should be balanced? No, now you're trying to argue that really we should consider nerfing him. You're contradicting yourself again. And he goes, do we plan to do it? No, that is what I said. No, it's not. Go back and read your own message. No, it's not. Not even close. All right, so here's our second tweet. I don't have to backpedal anything. Well, I mean, you don't have to do anything. You're a human being with free will. I restated exactly what I said. Lie. And I will state again. We can and will change any champion we want at any time. Also not what you said at all. It's in the terms of service. And if you don't want that, then we'll stop buffing champions and reverse those too. Okay. I had a mom that said, I mean, she's still alive. She's still my mom. But growing up on Christmas, she would say this phrase quite often. If you don't like it, I won't just take that one present back. I'll take them all back. And then she would storm off. This is Kabam Mike storming off. If you don't like what we do with Hercules, we'll take back all the buffs. We'll make Hulk go back to being horrible. And Jugs. And all the other champs that were memes. Red Mags. List goes on and on. Storm. My solution, when I'm getting emotional about being wrong, which, again, the community is just taking your words, buddy. We're not adding to them. Is to quadruple down or more and just say, we're going to revert those old champions. What would that do to their business health, to their bottom line? Mr. Doobie Addict says, no, you won't. You're full of, I'll call your bluff. Go ahead. Revert those old buffs. Do I dare revert that OG Hulk buff and Juggernaut buffs and turn your content creators legends with rank 3 7 stars of those champs? Will boycott and rage as well. And that is true. Because Hulk and Juggernaut and some of the other buff champs are, including members of the CCP, some of their rank 3 champions. So, that leads us to tweet number 3. I won't do it. Because we're going to move forward the same way we always have. Well, you have it in these tweets, buddy. You've moved everything backward. And changed the narrative. And then tried to change your own words. Reserving the right to modify any champion anytime. If we ever decide that an old champ needs a change, buff or nerf, we are going to do it because we can. That is not what anyone is saying. Is anyone saying in this message, Or online that they don't have the power to do this? No. No. You're changing the argument to deflect from the words you made. So let's go back and end this video the same way we started with his own words. We do, notice the word not's in there, want to nerf Hercules. We have no plans for that at this time. Hercules is not getting nerfed yet. Those are your words. That's what you need to hold on to. You're not saying we have the power to buff or nerf any champion at any time. It's in our terms of service. Okay, yeah, true. That's not what you're saying here. You're changing the argument. You're changing the subject. It's a smart-ish debate tactic. When you feel like you've lost the debate, you change the subject. But that doesn't mean you can't be held accountable for losing the debate. Kabam Mike either had typos in this message or believed his words were true until the pushback was enough for him to change his words. He should have said, like if I was his public relations manager, Lord help me, I would say, go line by line and defend what you said. So if you meant to say, we do not want to nerf Hercules, then you need to say, I am sorry, community, I forgot the word not in that sentence. And I can understand why you're freaking out, because the sentence read, we do want to nerf Hercules. And then, when you say, Herc is not getting nerfed yet, you can say, when I said yet, I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that there was some chance somewhere down the line that maybe that will happen, but we have no plans to right now. And no, it is not obvious for us to take your messages that way. We can't know what you meant. We can only know what you typed. And thus, I am treating you like one of my students. And because of that, if this was your paper, you get a giant F. Retake the course. Do better.